If you still think ChatGPT is just a chat box, you are using a small corner of the product. The real shift is that ChatGPT has become a work surface. It can hold context, read files, search the web, build research briefs, analyze data, create visuals, schedule prompts, and in some cases act through an agent. And when the work becomes software execution, that is where Codex enters the picture. This video is the map what ChatGPT can do, where each feature fits, and how to use it without exposing your private work or over-delegating important decisions.
Is this a Codex tutorial?
This is not a Codex tutorial. Codex is important, and if you have access through your ChatGPT plan, it can become the execution layer for real code bases, but that deserves its own video. Today, the focus is ChatGPT itself, the features people see in the product but often do not connect into one operating model. By the end, you should know when to use normal chat, when to use projects, when to use search or deep research, when to use files and data analysis, when tasks and agent mode make sense, and when to stop and move the work to Codex. The easiest way to understand ChatGPT now is as a stack. At the bottom is the conversation layer, reasoning, tone, memory, and personalization. Above that is the context layer, projects, files, instructions, and reusable work assets. Then comes the knowledge layer, search, deep research, and source-backed synthesis. The creation layer turns ideas into artifacts, tables, charts, images, study material, prototypes, and documents. The action layer handles scheduled prompts and bounded agent work. And finally, the escalation layer is Codex, where the work moves from conversation into a real repo, terminal, tests, and divs. One quick production note. I will not use private chats, real client work, personal files, or private repositories as demo material. That is not just for my privacy, it is the right way to teach this. If you are building with AI tools, you need a habit of separating real work from demo work. So throughout this video, the screen recordings should use a clean demo environment. Fake files, fake datasets, safe project names, and cropped interface shots. The point is to teach the operating model, not to expose a personal workspace.
When should I actually use a deeper reasoning mode?
The first upgrade is simple. Stop treating every ChatGPT conversation the same way. Some tasks need a fast answer. Some need slower reasoning. Some need tools, files, or a multi-step plan. The model or mode you choose is a routing decision, not a status symbol. If I need a quick rewrite, I do not need the heaviest mode. If I am planning a complex workflow, checking assumptions, or asking it to reason across multiple constraints, I want a deeper reasoning path. This matters because most bad ChatGPT workflows begin with the wrong level of effort for the job. Memory and personalization are useful, but only if you understand their job. Memory is good for preferences, recurring context, tone, and stable facts you want ChatGPT to remember. It is not a precise file cabinet. It is not a replacement for a project brief, a source document, or a database. A strong setup is use custom instructions for your general working style, use memory for durable preferences, and use projects or uploaded files when exact context matters. That separation keeps ChatGPT helpful without making it mysterious. Why not just keep everything in one long chat? Projects are where ChatGPT stops being a one-off prompt box and starts becoming a workspace. A good project can hold instructions, files, and related chats around one objective. That means you are not rebuilding context every time. For example, a safe demo project could be called AI&U Demo Lab. Inside it, you could place a fake product brief, a sample content calendar, and instructions for how the assistant should reason. Now, every conversation inside that project starts with more structure. The value is not magic. The value is continuity. Files change the shape of the conversation. Without files, ChatGPT is mostly reacting to what you type. With files, it can work from a document, a spreadsheet, a planning note, or a dataset. The safe way to demonstrate this is with synthetic files, a fake brief, a dummy CSV, a mock tracker, and a sample planning document. The lesson is simple. If the work depends on exact context, give ChatGPT the context as a file or project asset. Do not paste sensitive material casually. Build a clean context surface. Apps and connectors are best understood as bridges. They can bring selected outside context into ChatGPT, but that does not mean every account should be connected by default. The right question is, what does this task need access to and for how long? For a YouTube demo, I would not connect real mail, Drive, calendar, or private work systems on screen. I would explain the concept with a matrix. Some sources are for reference, some are for research, and some may enable action. The safe habit is least access, clear purpose, and review before anything leaves the chat.
When is search enough and when do I need deep research?
Search is for current answers and quick orientation. If you need to know whether a feature exists, what changed recently, or what a source says right now, search is the faster route. But search is not the same as research. It can point you to the latest information, summarize a page, and help you compare a few sources. It is best for urgency and freshness. If the decision matters, if you need multiple sources, or if you need a structured brief, you move up one level to deep research. Deep research is for a different class of problem. Use it when the output has to survive scrutiny. A good deep research workflow should make a plan, inspect multiple sources, synthesize the result, and expose where the confidence is strong or weak. This is useful for product research, market scans, tool comparisons, technical backgrounders, and decision briefs. The mistake is using deep research for everything. It takes longer, and it should. Search is a flashlight. Deep research is a structured field report. Use the field report when the answer has consequences. Here is the rule. If you need reasoning from what you already know, ask ChatGPT normally. If you need current information, use search. If you need a source-backed synthesis that will influence a decision, use deep research. That one routing rule prevents a lot of wasted time. It also makes your prompts sharper because you are no longer asking one tool to behave like 3 different tools at the same time.
What changes when I give ChatGPT a real file or dataset?
The creation layer starts when ChatGPT stops giving only text and starts producing artifacts. Data analysis is the cleanest example. Give it a safe CSV and ask it to find patterns, summarize outliers, build a table, or suggest a chart. The important shift is in the prompt. Do not just ask, what does this data say? Ask for the artifact you need. For example, turn this into a one-page summary, list the top 3 risks, create a follow-up table, and explain what a human should check before trusting the result. Once you think in artifacts, ChatGPT becomes more useful. The same input can become a summary, a table, a comparison matrix, a checklist, or a first draft of a document. That does not mean you publish the first output. It means you use ChatGPT to create the first structured version of the work, then you review it, correct it, and decide what deserves to become final. This is the difference between using ChatGPT as a sentence generator and using it as a working assistant. Images are another part of the creation layer, but they need discipline. The strongest use is not, make me something cool. The strongest use is, here is the message, here is the visual system, here are the constraints, and here is what the viewer should understand in one glance. For this channel, that means clean AI&U graphics, signal green for pillar 2, minimal text, and visuals that explain a workflow. Treat image generation as a design collaborator, not a substitute for visual judgment. ChatGPT is also becoming more than a typing interface. Voice is useful when you want to think out loud. Record-style workflows can turn spoken material into notes where available. Study mode is useful when the goal is learning, not just getting the answer. The caveat is that availability can depend on platform, plan, workspace, and product changes. So in the final recording, this section should be verified again. The practical point is bigger than any one button. ChatGPT now supports different ways of working, not just different ways of typing. Can ChatGPT actually build something, or is it still just suggesting? Canvas and prototype-style workflows are where ChatGPT starts to feel like a builder. The safe way to show this is with a tiny fake example, a simple calculator, a landing section, or a structured document view. The claim should stay honest. If the feature is available in the recording account, show the flow, idea, draft, preview, revision. If it is not available or behaves differently, use a graphic fallback and say so. The viewer should learn the workflow pattern, not be misled by a feature path that may vary by account.
Are tasks automations or just scheduled prompts?
Tasks are easy to misunderstand. The clean mental model is a task is a scheduled prompt. It is useful when you want ChatGPT to remind you, check something, or run a lightweight recurring instruction where the product supports it. It is not a replacement for a full automation system. The safe demo would be something harmless, like a weekly prompt that asks for a public AI tool update. For production, I would either show a dry run or create a temporary demo task only after approval. The guardrail is simple. Recurrence should not mean loss of control.
How do I use agent mode without losing control?
Agent mode is powerful because it changes the relationship from answering to doing. That is also why it needs the strongest boundaries. A good agent prompt should define the goal, the allowed sources, what it must not do, when it should ask for confirmation, and where it must stop. For a public YouTube demo, the task should be harmless. Compare public pages, collect public information, or draft a summary. No purchases, no messages, no bookings, no private accounts. The rule is not never use agents. The rule is delegate the bounded work and keep judgment with the human. Before you let ChatGPT touch more context or take more action, use 4 guardrails. Privacy. Does it need this data? Scope. What exactly is it allowed to do? Sources. Where is it allowed to look? Confirmation. What must it ask before doing anything irreversible? Those 4 questions are simple, but they change the quality of your AI workflow. They keep the tool useful without turning every experiment into a risk. The way I use ChatGPT is closer to an operating model than a question-answer tool. I use it to think through ideas, structure research, compare options, draft plans, inspect files, create outlines, and turn rough material into cleaner artifacts. But for a public video, that does not mean showing my real files. The right visual is an anonymized map. Idea in, context added, research checked, artifact drafted, human review, then execution. That is the model viewers can copy. The personal details are not the lesson. The workflow is the lesson. Where does ChatGPT stop and Codex begin? This is where Codex enters the story. ChatGPT is the command center for thinking, context, research, creation, and bounded action. Codex is different. Codex is for code-based execution. Reading files, editing code, running commands, validating tests, preparing diffs, and working inside a repo. That is why I do not want to squeeze Codex into a small segment here. It deserves a full video. For now, remember the boundary. If the work is still a conversation or artifact, stay in ChatGPT. If the work enters a real code base, move to Codex. If this feels like too much, do not start with everything. Start with 4 upgrades. First, create one project for one real area of work. Second, add one save file and ask for a structured artifact, not a generic answer. Third, use search or deep research intentionally instead of mixing them up. Fourth, write one guardrail task or agent prompt, but do not run it until the scope is clear. You do not become advanced by using every feature. You become advanced by routing the right job to the right layer. Here is the whole map. Need a thought partner? Use chat with the right reasoning depth. Need continuity? Use a project. Need exact context. Add files? Need current facts? Use search. Need a serious source-backed brief. Use deep research. Need an artifact? Ask for a table, chart, image, document, or prototype. Need recurrence? Use tasks carefully. Need bounded online work? Use agent mode with guardrails. Need code-based execution? That is Codex. The product is not one box anymore. It is a set of layers. In the next video, I want to go deeper into Codex, what it is, how it differs from ChatGPT, and how it can work with real code bases without turning your workflow into chaos. If this video helped you see ChatGPT as a capability stack instead of a chat box, subscribe to AI&U. The goal here is practical Gen AI. Not hype, not fear, but workflows you can actually use.